And welcome back to the stream. I am Bahamut, your caster. We have another Charity League best of 3 tonight, and we actually have another one following this up at 7:20 Pacific Standard Time. On the left-hand side, we have Lionspeed, and on the right, we have give us a Chansey. Oh, Chansey. Okay. Give us a Chansey. There we go. I was looking at the smaller text so I could barely read it. Malthael will be banned out here right away. Strong hero, Battlefield of Eternity. He does, as I've seen, he really melts those Punishers. Let me actually also update my UI so that way it actually says where we are in the matches. Okay, that is all set. Okay, so it should be updated the next time it pops up. All right, Battlefield of Eternity, banning out something that helps burn down the Immortal is probably a strong ban, but they're going to go ahead and ban out the Li Ming for the poke damage. The resets here are really critical. Li Ming is actually a pretty strong ban here in my opinion, because of the fact that if you do get one pick, she does start to snowball, and this is a map where it's very team fight centric. And, you get the team fight, you then race you burn down the Immortal. It doesn't have to be that way, but that is at least the way that I understand it. So you're gonna want something that, one, burns down the Immortal, and two, fights very well in a team fight. So, Ariel being picked up here. And are we going into a Cho'Gall? Give us a Chansey? I mean, you can run... It doesn't have to be Cho'Gall, but this Vala and Ariel pair so well together that just getting that out of the right away, if that's what you are going to be running with your comp, then that's going to be perfect. Now you can also pair it with a Tracer, so they're going to go ahead and pick up the Vala and Uther. I was actually about to say maybe they could go Tassadar, but they're going to go ahead and just confirm the Uther pick here. So they're going to go ahead on give us a Chansey. They're going to have 2 more picks before our next ban phase here. And they're actually going to lock in the Cho'Gall. So, okay, there it is. I was wondering if it was going to be, or if it was just for the pairing to, get something that really charges the Ariel. But, I mean, what charges the Ariel best but a Cho'Gall? So, in our first match of the evening, we're actually just going to right out the bat have a Cho'Gall pickup here. And that's why we also saw Malthael being banned out, because Malthael does chunk the Cho'Gall very well. So going into our second ban phase, Lionspeed is going to have the first ban, which means they have then the first pick. So they're going to want to try and limit a critical hero on the side of give us a Chansey and Lunara. Okay, I like that. I was going to say you see them paired with like an Anubarak as well. That seems to be one of the common picks with the Cho'Gall. So I was wondering if they were going to go for that. But banning out the Lunar is actually a stronger pick because of the fact that she does pair well with the Ariel, and she also really burns down those Immortals. Greymane will be banned out here, so they're going to go ahead and just make sure that they don't get the Cursed Bullet against the Cho'Gall. That Cursed Bullet could completely just melt him. And I'm not sure if maybe the Vala or the Ariel out the bat was a warning sign to them. Because I don't know, Because Greymane also, he does do a lot of damage to these Immortals, so he would have been a strong first pick. And then if they did go the Cho'Gall, you would have that option to have the Cursed Bullet regardless. So then they might have been forced into picking up a Rhaegar to counter the Cursed Bullet, which would then, you have 2 healers. You're kind of forcing them into a different aspect of the draft. So Kharazim's going to be picked up here with Anubarak, and this is going to be interesting because the Kharazim damage build, to my understanding, is just going to be extremely useful, especially when they're trying to burn down the Immortal. I don't know the specifics of it, but I believe it's a attack speed or damage buff for his the attacking spirit. I don't play enough Kharazim. I really need to learn the new Kharazim as well as understand. Supports are like my weakest class, so that's the one thing I can't talk too much on, but I think I can understand where they're going with this draft. The Anubarak as well with that is just a strong pickup. If they do go into some sort of mage, he does have that Nubarian armor that will definitely be able to protect a lot of the team. They're going to go ahead and pick up the Artanis. Strong hero on this map. The swaps that you can get from him are going to be pretty strong. And it looks like they're actually going into a Zarya as well, so the extra shielding is going to be extremely difficult to burn through. It looks like they're really just focusing around keeping the Cho'Gall alive and giving him the assets to kind of control the engagements, because if they do take the suppression pulse from Artanis, the Kharazim and the Val are really going to be neutered for that point of the fight, which gives Cho'Gall an entry point to really get into that backline if they're, if they can't do any basic attack damage, or, you can't really melt him down too much. They have their abilities, but I don't know. I think the blind is going to be extremely powerful. And then I'm going to wonder if they're going to go... Typically, you do see the expulsion zone from Zarya, but typically, that's what you normally see. But Graviton Surge could pair well with this. If you do like a Graviton Surge upheaval with the Twisting Nether, or even then just the Twisting Nether. But last pickup here, not even talking about their pickup, they're going to go ahead and get the Leoric, and Leoric is a extremely strong pickup against the Cho'Gall if he goes into his Drain Hope build, which I would assume that's the reason they're getting him. That's going to be just really starting to melt down that Cho'Gall in the late game. So post 13, I believe Leoric really starts to just suck the health out of high health pool heroes like Cho'Gall. But at the same time, we do have the Zarya with the shielding, Ariel's bar. I mean, Ariel's bar can just literally be full constantly. So I'm interested to see how this matchup's going to go. On the left-hand side, we have Lionspeed with Star Fox 64 on Leoric. Excuse me, sorry, I was changing my channels there. The Akazi on Vala, Big Wiz on Uther, Varchizi 123 on Anubarak, Glaucius on Kharazim. On the right-hand side, we have Give Us a Chansey with Keeping It Kappa, Cho, Dinsinjin 20. I'll just give it a shot. On Artanis, Flacker on Ariel, Supforth on Gaul, and Gadith on Zarya. Alrighty, and so here we load into our first match of the evening. Getting readjusted myself. I was getting comfy during the draft. Alright, so checking into some of these first level talents while we are getting our laning position going here. We are seeing the Spectral Leech from the Leoric, Nubarian Armor out of the Anubarak, which should be able to counter a lot of the spell damage from the Gaul. We are seeing that damage build from the Kharazim. Cho will be going into Feel the Flame. Tannis will be taking his amateur opponent. Ariel still holding her first. Looks like Zarya is going to be going into Feel the Heat. And Gaul will be going into Taskmaster. Alright, so in bottom, having a small skirmish, and this is going to be the main lane we're going to be staring at for most of this game. The top lane, there won't be too much of an engagement between the Leoric and Artanis. They're just mostly going to be laning and soaking the experience. But we will try and keep an eye out on their health bars to see if they start dropping. We can just take a peek at maybe a kill. But at this point, they're just playing extremely safe, making sure they're not laning up too far. There is a whip from the Ariel onto the Anubarak, stuns him out for a couple of seconds, and they get a little bit of damage out to him, but he should be healed right back up by that Kharazim and Uther combo. So at this point, matchup-wise, laning, Artanis should be doing fine up against the Leoric, but at the same time, he does have the Spectral Leech to just get himself back up full, and we are actually seeing... There is an engagement down here, but I'm watching Artanis' health just drop a little bit here, so it looks like he will be playing safe. Let's take a quick peek, though. It looks like there will be a swap out. The Spectral Leech is there. Does he get the slow? It does not happen. In bottom lane, we do see the whip from the Ariel into the gate on Anubarak, and what they're doing is a smart thing, is they're targeting the Anubarak with the whip, and it pushes him all the way behind his backline, so now they're exposed, and then the Gall and the Zarya can go right into that. That's at least what I'm thinking they're intentionally doing, or just that Anub'arak is taking every single one of these whips perfectly, keeping his teammates from getting kind of pushed back or taking any damage. The Ariel does get stunned out here. There is a collapse onto her. She is losing her health very quickly. She will have enough hope to heal herself back up. Vala does get a multi-shot off, but it doesn't kill, but she does end up falling, I believe, from the damage over time. From the Anub'arak, I think? That would be my best guess. But we are going to be seeing them on the side of Lionspeed going straight into this Immortal, trying to burn it down as quickly as they can with that Vala. And I actually just wanted to note here, she didn't take the Hungering Arrow at level 1. Late game, the Hungering Arrow build really starts to chunk out the Immortal. The Hot Pursuit is great for the, I believe it's the mana return and the speed you get from it. So that's going to be beneficial for chasing down some of the heroes. And I think the attack speed buff is also worth it too. So it's just what I always go Hungering Arrow build. But they are the Immortals will appear on the aggressive sides for both teams. So they will end up being pushed back by Give Us a Chansey. This Zarya is using her grenades to really kind of zone them away, as well as kind of get visions. Gall is using his abilities as well to do the same. Just demounting that Vala. And during this entire time, I do want to note that the Artanis is attacking the other Immortal. And so that is going to be an extremely just beneficial thing to have him always on there. You know, every fight after this, though, is going to be a 4v5. But at the same time, the power from the Cho'Gall is getting quite strong over time here. And the reason I'm saying this is that I thought they were just going to get picked off by the... I thought the Charism was going to be picked off there, but it will not be happening. And they are just continuing to zone the enemy team away here. They cannot burn down this Immortal Shield, so it will be about a third of an Immortal Shield on that top push. What I'm curious to see is if they're going to be going ahead and pushing with, or if they're going to get the Split Soak, and it looks like they're going to go for the Split Soak. Artanis will be pushing into bottom, soaking that experience as best as he can, and they're going to use this Cho'Gall, Zarya, and Ariel combination to really just force a harder push. The Immortal, while he has shields, is ranged, so until they knock the shields down, the Immortal will attack from a distance, which means that Vala is pretty much their only way of getting it down, as well as the cannon shots they're going to be targeting it. Now that it lost its shields, it's going to go in, focus on the well, burn that down, and then they should be getting a fort here. Vala could potentially fall. Looks like they are going to get the whip onto the Anub'arak, who is getting a ton of damage put onto him. Ariel is going to get stunned out by the Uther. They will be able to back off here, and they will be confirming the fort in the top lane. In bottom, it looks like we're just still having the laning matchup between the Artanis and the Leoric. That just seems like they're just soaking experience. But with this, they do have 7s. They do have a whole level lead here. They do get the whip onto the Anub'arak. There is a little bit of damage on him. Does Gall get the extra? No. The healing from the Charism will be there. And I was wondering if the damage was going to just barely get that Anub'arak, but it's not going to be confirming the kill. So he will be getting away safe there. We will see them rotating into this camp. They're going to go ahead and pick this up. This will push into this top wave. There's about a minute 45 from when the Immortal dies to the spawn of the next one. So looks like we're probably somewhere in the 120 range till we see another one. And excuse me, I missed the Artanis dying in bottom. So we probably have another minute here. So they look to see them go for this camp nearing that time marker if they are watching the timer for that 145. They are going to go right into this bottom camp for the invade, but that will already be captured on the side of Lionspeed. So give me a Chansey. What they're doing is they're creating a lot of lane push, and they're bullying a lot of their lanes with their Cho'Gall. They're being extremely aggressive, and it looks like Lionspeed is really getting pushed in behind their gate, and they're playing the safe game here because the Cho'Gall it's charging that Ariel so fast. And they also have the shields from the Zarya too, so with all of that, you just have the Gall constantly putting out damage, and the Cho is just there to just absorb just about everything. We will see them just trying to invade here, pushing up a little bit. Artanis is back in top now, pushing up against that Leoric. Zarya does get the shielding out onto the Cho, and the thing is, they are attacking Cho'Gall while he has the shield on him, so that is building up the Zarya damage, and she will be getting enough charge there to really confirm the kill onto that Anub'arak. So this is the hard part. Whoever basically the enemy team attacks, they make the Zarya more powerful, and she just stands there and just looks like she's just going to hit him with a beam. Cho'Gall is going to be slowly healed up here. The whip does come out. They get the Uther. They actually confirm the kill onto the Vala. Cho'Gall with a just sliver of health at this point. We are going to be having the Artanis rotating into... Oh, it looks like the Uther, I believe it was the hammer, got out far enough and just killed him with that sliver. So Cho'Gall rolled the dice there and will be falling. With that, though, that does give the advantage a little bit on the side of Lionspeed. They can start to really burn down this Immortal. They need their Vala, who should be there just about in any second. But at the same time, we do have this Zarya, Artanis, and Ariel working on this one down here. Not as quick of a burn, but at the same time, they still will get rid of a decent amount of the shielding if they do lose this. But at this point, we are going to be seeing the transition. I believe it's going to be the left and right, and on the safe side. So at this point, they're going to be really going into this, and it looks like they're going to try and race. Okay, they're going to go in. I was going to say, you can't race this right now. The Zarya shields do come out onto the Cho'Gall. There's the stun for the disengage, though, and they get away with this. So they're going to rotate under their Immortal to try and protect it. This is the safe side, so they do have their well behind the gate, which will provide them a good escape here. So now we can see just kind of how people are rotating in here. Chansey is coming in from the backline. There is a huge entomb, but at the same time, we will have the Uther falling here. There's a web wrap onto the Cho'Gall. So now we are having... Oh, they get the Cho'Gall right out. The Crystal Aegis is there onto the Artanis. They will be falling so low this on the side of Lionspeed, but will they have the speed to get out? The Anub'arak does not have another stun or a dive to get out, so they will be having to back up with 2 dying here. And this looks like this Immortal will be burned down by Give Us a Chansey, and they will be taking the second one of the game. Lionspeed quickly tries to take this camp, but what it does is it does show on the map currently. Leoric's head's kind of blocking it. But on the minimap, you can see that they are taking that camp because it's still active. But they're going to go ahead and say, you know what, that's whatever. The Immortal's pushing bottom, so we'll just get it on our way up. When they clear out this bottom fort, they're going to clear out this camp. Artanis is going to go back top, get more soak, try and work towards those 13s. If they get it here and they get 1 or 2 picks, they could potentially roll this into a death march. But at the same time, Lionspeed, they do have their ultimates. They do have everything up, so I'm wondering how they're going to be able to take this fight. Are they going to web wrap the Ariel so that way there's no heal and no Crystal Aegis, and then they focus down one of the members? I don't know. It's you can't web wrap one of them too well, but there's a lot of posturing at this point. Everyone's just playing extremely safe. There is a 3-man stun out there. There is the blind from the Artanis. There is also the zoning from the Zarya, and this will be a 7-sided strike coming out. Not confirming too much. Vala gets the strafe actually, and the entomb, and separating the the Cho'Gall from the rest of the team. Oh, that was just an excellent play on the side of Lionspeed. They save their keep. The Gaul actually just baits them back, trying to kind of buy his team as much time as possible, because if he would have ran into lane towards the zone, it would have bought time, yes, but that would have just given the momentum for Lionspeed to just go ahead and get the fort. So now that they have to kind of have this, they have to stop, get the kill, rotate into lane, push it back. Now that they don't have this momentum anymore, so it really kind of helps out the team, because it also gives enough time for Zarya and Ariel to come back alive. So at this point, they are here at the gate. They can defend this. The 13s aren't there yet, but with a couple minion waves from Leoric, or a minion wave from Leoric, they do confirm it themselves. While this push is currently happening, let's just take a quick peek at some of these talents. I was going to say let's take a peek, but this engage looks like it's going to be happening. I wasn't sure if they're going to be going in for it. The web wrap does come out from the Anub'arak. They aren't really going into here. Cho'Gall is back up out of the web wrap. The 7-sided strike comes out onto him. The Aegis is there to save him, though, and he's back up to a significant amount of health. There is the Divine Storm from the Uther. The blind was there so that he couldn't confirm any of the kills. Vala, or... Oh... Vala gets grenaded by the Zarya, and she does actually use the suppression, or the... I'm drawing a blank on the name. Expulsion Zone. There we go. To go ahead and push them away and try and confirm that kill into the Uther. So a 2-for-1 trade in this situation. But now we can take a quick peek at some of these talents. Cho'Gall did go into the Twilight Hammer, the Suppression Pulse from the Artanis, the Aegis from the Ariel, the Volley, Shadow Bolt Volley from the Gull. So, and then we have Strafe, Entomb, Divine Storm, Web Wrap, and Seven Sided. And so with some of the members just kind of coming back up from, or excuse me, just the Vala coming up on the side of Lionspeed, they didn't really have a whole lot of burn against them, but at this point with the Vala here and the Leoric, looks like he's going to have to go ahead and back and clean this up. So this is actually going to be a fight advantage on the side of Gimme a Chansey. Artanis will just go ahead and stay right back onto there. The Web Wrap is out. There is no Entomb, but there is a dive from the Anub'arak onto the Ariel. Suppression Pulse is there. They do get the stun onto the Ariel. The Divine Storm is there onto 3 members. They lock them all down, but there's no follow-up damage currently. There is the Aegis onto Ariel herself, trying to save herself from this Vala. The Shadow Ball Volley is there. They are working down this Vala, and she will be falling. Anub'arak does burrow out. Leoric does get out. We are going to be seeing the Uther finally dying in his ghost form. Cho'Gall is trying to confirm this kill. The stun from the Anub'arak will cancel that out, and there is the Kharazim for a couple extra heals. But during this, at the same time, the Immortal was burned down by the Zarya and the Artanis. So this will be a very, very strong Shielded Immortal going top lane, and they are already aggressively posturing up against us. Now Vala will be up in time for this defense. And the critical thing here that they want to do is they want to try and play extremely safe. They don't want to get caught out or go too deep for like a Web Wrap and Tomb combo, but it looks like they're already going in. The Twilight Hammer was used. There is an Entomb onto 2 of the members here. The Expulsion Zone is there to keep some of the members back. The Orc has to Ghost Form out. There's going to be the dive from the Anub'arak. Now there is the Cho'Gall in the Cocoon. He is going to come out, but in the last second, his Ariel and his Zarya die, so they really need to play the safe. Cho'Gall looks like he will be using the Shadow Bolt Volley to kind of zone some of the members away. The Immortal still does have a shield, so he will be slowly chunking down this keep. They're trying to get the Cho'Gall here. The Orc will be dying, though, I believe from the Immortal just stuns on the ground. But he will be back up exactly where he is, and he's got a couple slows that will help them out a little bit here. They do try and go in on him, but there is the Unstoppable from Gull's, I believe, 16? No, that's not right. I think it's from the... Yes, it's the Surging Dash, okay. Chose 16. But it looks like they will be chasing down this Artanis. The swap was... They tried to swap him out, but they will be getting that kill. The 7-sided strike was even used just to try and really confirm the damage onto him. So we are looking at about another minute or so before the next Immortal is going to be coming onto the battlefield. So they're going to go ahead and get this camp a little prematurely, but it will help push back some of their wave. They do actually scout it out on the side of Gimme a Chansey. Cho'Gall utilizing some of his abilities to really just... kind of demount them, slow them down a little bit. A huge silence from one of the balls from Gull there. But we will not be having... Looks like they're going to be playing extremely safe here. It looks like I'm not sure if they're going to be going in on this or not, because I don't... The Artanis isn't there, so they do potentially have this fight. The Entomb is onto 2 of the members. Is there going to be a Web Wrap onto the... Yep, there's a Web Wrap onto the Cho'Gall. They really focus down onto that... Ariel, she cannot get her Aegis off in time because she was stunned out. And this is going to be a kill onto Cho'Gall as well. So, now there are catapults going in top. So it looks like Star Fox 64. S Fox 64 is going to be going back and cleaning those as Leoric. They will be pushing down this fort right now. This is a really good time to do this because what it does in this late game, these buildings scale XP-wise. So getting this at this point in the game is going to give them a decent chunk of experience, as well as it's going to push them closer to the 20 mark that they need, as well as it doesn't allow them to have a retreat area. Looks like they will be actually getting extremely aggressive here. And with the entire team dead, Artanis will not be able to contest that, so he's going to go ahead and just back off right away. And they will be going straight onto this Immortal, and this should be confirmed quite quickly. The rest of the team slowly coming back up. They just popped the Cho'Gall, so that is going to be the full members finally up. We are going to be having the transition here, and it looks like this is going to be on the safe side for both teams. So this is extremely good for Give Us a Chansey, because of the fact that, well, the Immortal's given them a Chansey. Now, there's about a level difference here, so there is still a little bit more power on the side of Lionspeed. But there is this Cho'Gall threat now with the 5-man. Before it was a 4v5, so they had that combo from the Auric and all that. And all the heroics are up, but the Entomb is up. They actually don't have the web wrap. Their Charism actually just comes in right now. There is the silence, or the blind from the Artanis. They end up getting the kill onto the Zarya here. We are going to be having the Uther falling, though. He does have his Ghost Form for the heals. Arya will be falling as well. Gall tries to juke them away, but we will be seeing a stun onto some of them, onto the Artanis here. The silence does come out from the Gall. Artanis does dash through them, trying to get so much damage out onto this Leoric. Will the Leoric be falling? No, he'll actually be getting the counter kill onto the Artanis. Whew. Oh my god, that was quite intense. So with this, though, they're going to say we have enough time. We're going to back and get full, push back our top wave, and also then just come in, burn this down. Now, the only bad part about this is the fact that they're basically making this huge rotation to get full and come back to the Immortal, and they're giving this chance for Cho'Gall to get some of his health back, as well as let his team members get back as well. Because our Zarya just got back. She's already back into play. And the Ariel's already up. And Artanis should be up soon. So the whole thing is they could have burned down this Immortal without taking any damage, because at this point they're currently at the health when they backed. And there was no one fighting them. Now they're going in a 3v5. So they're just... Or, excuse me, 4v5. They're basically making the game harder for themselves. They should have gone ahead, pushed into that Immortal, taken it, and then backed if they really needed to, because the Uther during that, I didn't see his mana bar, but the Charism could have been healing. He had healing totem, didn't he? No, he didn't. So, well, his passive isn't, the Spirit isn't that great, but but he's still, like, as the Charism was attacking, he could have had more healing coming out from his W, but they are going to be getting an extreme amount of damage onto this Ariel, but they will be popping the streak because so many members of low here. We are going to be having the counter kill onto the Artanis, so this is going to be a Charism for an Artanis. The Cho'Gall is separated a little bit from the team. The slows from the Orc are really kind of buying him time. Cho'Gall does dash forward. Does he get... No, he actually gets stunned out by the Uther, who's going to be saving him. But at the same time, because of the back that they did, they are going to be having to basically give this Immortal up. If they would have just... It's so easy, because, like, I've done this in my game probably before, but it's so easy when you're watching from the opposite side. It's like, no, I mean, it's a 1v3. You've got half health. Like, you should be fine. Like, and the Cho'Gall didn't have enough health to really stay alive either. Unless someone in Twitch chat knows how much mana that Uther had. I think they could have taken that. But, so we are having this push onto the final keep against Lionspeed. Give us a chance. He definitely wants to really push this down and end the game. I didn't even see how much health it had. So that's going to be a keep already taken. The blind is a little early from the Artanis. It already ends. There is a Mist Entomb on the side from the Auric. He is getting, or excuse me, the Vala is getting extremely low here, but there's a Divine Storm onto the Zarya and the Ariel, but she is healing them back up so quickly. The Cho'Gall is back from the cocoon here. He is taking a significant amount of damage. The Ariel gets an Aegis at the last second, but the Anub'arak is already there, and the Charism, and they're going to get the counter kill. Now, at the same time, I do want to note, the Immortal has been working on this core, and it looks like they are going to be taking this game. Game number 1 going over to Give Us a Chansey. GG, well played. Okay, and welcome to our second game. We are going into Braxis Holdout. The first game, Battlefield of Eternity, going over to Give Us a Chansey on the right-hand side. But on the left, we have Lionspeed trying to take the same game, and that Cho'Gall is insta-banned. Not even like 2 seconds thinking about it. Braxis Holdout is a Cho'Gall map. You can pick him here. And they're just going to say, you know what? Instead of trying to draft against it and build a comp that kills Cho'Gall, and maybe they pick Cho'Gall, we're just going to go ahead and just say, nope, we're good. So, Lionspeed banning that out, and the Malthael will still be banned out on the side of Give Us a Chansey. Now, the Ariel being picked up here, so these guys, you guys got to slow down. Chromie being picked up here, first pick. The Ariel being picked up here is extremely strong because she pairs well with Vala, and Vala's pretty good. I thought I had more to that, but I mean, she just the battery combos is just extremely strong. So that's something that is a decent first pick. I'm curious to see if they're gonna be going into any. Okay, I have to stop talking about the other team because it looks like they're gonna go ahead and. I'm wondering if they're gonna go into just some sort of like hook, stun out artillery blast with Chromie, like just a really big. They hook one hero and they center the entire comp is gonna be built around Stitch's hook right now because the Chromie into that is interesting because you can hook and then you can get the combo from the Chromie and that's just gonna completely just decimate someone's health down to at least a half, and then maybe you get a dive hero like a Greymane into that, and then also maybe throw in a Gul'dan. So now. That's on the side of Give Us a Chansey. Let's actually talking about what they're going to be going for on the side of Lionspeed. Ariel pairs well with quite a few heroes, and I'm wondering they first picked it, so they have something in mind to synergize with that, and I'm wondering if it's just going to be the Vala, as well as KT does well on this map too. So there's the Vala, and they're going to go ahead and pick up Uther too. So gonna go ahead and pick up Uther and Ariel. So it looks like they're gonna be. I would assume you would then just pick two strong tanks, like in a Nubarak and maybe an Arthas.
New follower detected.
Oh, I'm sorry that your name got blocked. There it is, Astrokev. Thank you so much. Dahaka's gonna be banned out here, and that's kind of surprising. It's not a huge map. He's a strong solo laner. Malfearon's going to be banned here, which is what I was thinking when I was going to get around to talking about the ban phase. The hook into the root is a strong combination with that Chromie combo. I wonder what they're going to be going into with this, though. A Rhaegar and... Well, okay, actually, there's going to be Arthas. Oh, the Arthas will combo into that, too. Okay, so they hovered Genji during the ban phase, but then they actually took out the Malthael. So they're going to have the Genji for the backline once they kill whoever they hook. And I think Arthas would be their solo laner, but they still need a healer, which I'm assuming is going to be Rhaegar. I don't think they're going to solo heal with a Tyrande. So then, just going back over to the last pickup on the side of Lionspeed. So the Anubarak, yeah. The Chen I wasn't too sure about. Because they have the root, they have the stun technically from the hook from Stitches, and Chen just stands still, so Chromie can kind of just do away with any sort of shielding he gets from drinking. But he probably won't be in the same lane as her, so that isn't a major concern, because Chen will probably be the solo laner, I would assume. You run the Anubarak, Uther, Vala with Ariel in bottom, and with the two healers and and Vala charging Ariel, they can really push in, and Anubarak can take a decent amount of spell damage. The Chromie Blast they're going to have to worry about. But Rhaegar seems like it'd be the choice. It doesn't jive super well, except for the fact that the slow's at 16 from Stitches, and the Earth Grasp Totem. Yeah, there it is. It has to be. It has to be Rhaegar at that point. Because I don't think you could solo heal with like a Tyrande. Tassadar, I don't think you can. Karazim, I just don't think he works with the comp that they're currently building. Stukov was actually open the entire time too, so that's something to note. Interesting. All right, and on the left-hand side, we are going to be having Lionspeed with S-Fox 64 on Ariel, Akazi on Vala, Big Wiz on Chen, Varcheesi on Anubrak, Glaucius on Uther. And on the right-hand side, we have Give Us a Chansey with Keeping It Kappa on Chromie. They're going to load in, aren't they? Yep, there we go. We're going to have Keeping It Kappa on Chromie, Safiri on Arthas. Stitches is going to be played by Gadeth. Subforth is on Genji, and Flacker is on Rhaegar. So we're actually going to be seeing Electric Charge from Rhaegar at level 1. But we are going to see the Nubarian Armor, the Evasive Brawler, the Hot Pursuit. So it looks like standard build from most members here. So we are going to be having that Chen in top against the Arthas. So those are our two solo laners. Now I'm really curious to see what is going to be happening between these four members in bottom. Ooh, are they going to hook into the time trap? Wow. Okay. I was not even considering the fact that they could hook into time trap like that. There was no combo follow-up, but still, that's just so cool that they even thought about doing that. So at this point, we are going to be having Genji trying to come into that backline a little bit here. Getting a decent amount of poke out of the Chromie will be doing a phenomenal job of just really poking down the enemy team from a distance, and she's really whittling down this Anubrak and just pushing him back. There is that huge healing that they're going to be getting from the Ariel. She does get hooked here. Looks like there's not enough follow-up damage. They do get the combo, and Genji gets the dash in. There is a counter stun onto the Genji. Looks like they will be... Okay, so they're going to be taking that fine. Just quickly, just want to peek into top here. It looks like Chen's just making Arthas burn through all of his mana. There is going to be a combo onto the Uther. Not going to really do an extreme amount of damage just yet. The ability power that she's going to be getting from that level 1 town is going to be really, really empowering her into this late game. There's the reveal that she gets, and while we have this happen, let's just take a quick peek, because I'm not 100% on that talent, so hook does go out. Activate, so, okay. So it's 5% ability power, that's what I thought. So we are going to be having a blast onto the Vala and slam down. At this point, they are just... The laning matchups are going pretty fair. This early game, it doesn't look like anyone's going to be losing out too bad. We are going to have the 1 kill so far, but not too much after that. Chen looks like he's actually pushing the Arthas back up pretty far in top here. So he will be controlling this point, and it looks like Lionspeed is going to start this map off with an extremely powerful lead. On these points, the top lane looks like it's really being bullied by that Chen, and so that's going to be something that they're going to need to respond to quite soon. Otherwise, we're actually going to be having the Anubrak dying first, then followed up by the Stitches, and then the Vala. So this team is starting to slowly be picked apart. Now, they do get the altar on bottom, so that will also counter the charge. And at this point, Lionspeed, they need to regroup, come onto this point together, and they really need to start focusing down the Chromie. Because without that Chromie, they really can collapse onto some of these members. The Genji is going to be the hardest to kill, because of the fact that he has just 2 mobility talents, 3 if he gets a kill with one of them. But at this point, we are having the Rhaegar just coming back in. They do get the whip onto the Chromie, and then just the follow-up stun. And that was exactly what they needed. So, for 1 split second, they get a little bit of charge in the top lane. Chen looks like he is getting bullied by a few of the members here. He does kick out in trying to get out of this. I don't think he has the ability to drink through that one. So, unfortunately, he's going to be waking up with a headache. We are going to have the Uther rotating top right away just to kind of make sure he keeps that soak and experience up. They are going to start pushing into bottom here. And now this isn't where their first wave is going to be going, but it will be the second one. So if they can capitalize, that Vala taking so much damage. And this is just the early game. I don't think she's finished her quest yet. So as she finishes that, she is going to be really starting to get a lot of power. There is another combo out. Looks like a Nubrak will take a little bit of that damage, though, himself. We are having a rotation back into bottom here from the majority of the members. We still have Uther in top. There's a spider on my desk, excuse me. Looks like Chen will be going right onto this camp, though. But this will actually give the opportunity for give us a chance to get onto these points. And so they are going to be starting to get a little bit of charge on their half. Just something to note, kind of a good thing to know, every 50% of the charge that you get on these beacons gives you one of the Ultralisks. So that's why people with 100% get 2 of them, and people with below 100% usually get 1, because they usually get to about 50% here. The charge is going back over to the side of Give Us a Chansey, but then the Stitches will be taking a significant amount of damage. They do get the point here, and they also get a follow-up kill onto the Chromie. And so without their Chromie here, this is going to be a pretty strong push in bottom. So the thing I was starting to note here, this isn't the wave that is... Their Zerg wave is actually going to go into the top lane, where Chen's been pushing, and I believe he took all the shots out of the tower. So that's going to be an extremely strong push. They're going to forego and not try and fight the one Hydra. Oh, shame. Hydralisk. There we go. They're not going to fight that one, but the cannon should take that out. The minion wave already did. Now, what they're doing, so by pushing this up so far, is that the next Zerg wave that they potentially could get here will be pushing into this gate, and if they can knock this down, it'll be a Zerg wave pushing onto a keep, and that is an extremely powerful play that you can do against your enemy team. Now, this is, coordinated, and this is a 5-man who've practiced this probably. But it looks like they're really going to be trying to push this back, and potentially... Nope, Chen's going to be living through this without a problem, and with this gate falling here, we're going to be approaching 10s on the side of Lionspeed. There is a response at this point from the Genji and the Chromie. They will just be kind of poking them back. There isn't really any vision on any of the members, so they don't know where they are. But at this point, they are going to be rotating up and stealing the siege camp away. Nope, looks like they're going to be going for a pick onto the Arthas here. The RL does get in position. She does whip him back. The Hala is there for the follow-up damage. They do get the kill onto him, and that is going to be a free pick. Now, it forces a rotation from the Chromie, so they do know that at least she has come up here, and they're going to go ahead and push into this fort. And this is a level of aggression from Lionspeed that this is what I wanted to see in first game. This is insane how they are just... They're getting one pick and then saying, you can't fight us because we've got 5, you've got 4. You want to try it, by the way? We're at 10s already. So we are going to have the Strafe come out from the Vala, the Crystal Aegis from the Ariel, the Panda Pals from Chen, Web Rep from Anubarak, and it looks like Uther's holding, but I have a feeling we're going into D-Storm here. Chen is going to be bullying a couple of the members here. He will be taking a little bit of damage from that. He actually gets hooked out of his ultimate from the Storm, Wind, and Fire. He will try and drink through this. The Crystal Aegis isn't in range, and he will be falling. Genji is going to be dashing in here, and this is going to be an aggressive invade against Lionspeed from Give Us a Chance. If they do get the stun out to stun out some of the members, they also get the camp. There is a hook out, but it ends up hitting one of the camp members, I believe. The Anubarak does get the D shield, so they end up taking D shield here. He will be... Okay, he will not be getting Chromie comboed. So at the same time, this is going to also force a response from Give Us a Chansey. They need to go de-push that top push, or that bottom lane push, but the stun comes out onto the Stitches at the last second, and it looks like Chen is going to go ahead, take the top. They're going to try and get another pick here. It looks like they're going to go ahead and take the Rhaegar. One of the members should be going back at this point, or they're just going to have a rotation from the Chen. They're going to go ahead and try and pick up that charge, and with these staggered deaths, this is going to be a full charge, if not over 50% on the side of Lionspeed. And this is what I was talking about. So this Zerg wave is going into bottom lane. They've opened it up completely. The well's still there, so they do have that ability to tap. The hook goes out onto the Jaina. She does get the Chromie time. They bait out the entire ability combo with and then put the Aegis to save her at the last second. So they are back up 5 members. The Chen is not there, so they do have to play this extremely safe. The hook goes out, but it does not connect. Now this is also near 13s towards the side of Lionspeed. So if they can get a minion wave or maybe just a little bit of... if they get the keep, a minion wave or a kill, I believe they'll be close enough to 13s. No, okay, more. My math is off. But if they get onto this keep, they'll be getting their 13s. They can really affect the snowball to fight. But there is actually an extremely quick lockdown onto the Arthas. The Ancestral is there, but it does not connect. There's going to be a 10-second cooldown, so there's 5 more seconds so they can use it again. There is another lockdown onto the Stitches, who will be walking away. The Zerg Wave does push onto the keep, so they guarantee that. The Genji uses his Dragon Blade already. The kick is out from Chen. Uses his dash to get out. There is the web wrap that follows him, though. Are they going to be chasing it? Looks like Rhaegar will be trying to burn that down. Is there... The stun is a little late from the Anubrak, but they are going onto this core currently. The Zerg Wave is there. The Anubrak is taking a significant amount of damage as well. The Panda Pals are there, so they are just burning this down. And that is going to be game number 2, going over to Lionspeed. GG, well played. And welcome back to our game number 3. We are going into Tomb of the Spider Queen. We have on the left-hand side Lionspeed, and on the right we have Give Us a Chansey. All right, we are actually going to be having the Anubrak band out here first. And that's going to be a strong ban. Gaul's going to be banned out right away. This is another Cho'Gall map, so they did... I was going to say, they did a really good job on that first map with Cho'Gall, so banning it out once again on a map that he is known to be strong on is it's a good pickup here. They're going to go ahead and pick up the Ariel first, though. So at this point, their first pick, they've seemed to be going into the Uther, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that. And then maybe... Okay. I was going to say into some wave clear, but it looks like they're going to go ahead and just pick up the Uther Stitches combo. And maybe they're doing a little bit of a clapback, saying like, hey, you know what? You played Stitches. We're going to show you our Stitches. Vala and Tassadar are going to be picked up here, so... Wow. Vala and Tassadar with the Ariel already. So then I'm assuming they're going to go into a double tank. They'll be going into maybe a Arthas and a Varian maybe too. That would give a lot of lockdown. But we are going to this ban phase, so at this point they're going to want to try and limit that tank pool. So the tanks I was just listing, maybe they ban out the Arthas here if they don't plan on taking it themselves. We did see that being picked up last game by Give Us a Chansey, so we do know that they do play it as a solo laner. They currently have a really good combination for their 4-man rotation, so something that is going to be... well, I mean, Tassadar can go in the solo lane as well, but I would assume you would just have him running with the 4-man. Diablo being banned out here is actually really really strong. There's a lot of tight, narrow corridors that you have to go through. And Diablo just offers a lot of just control in those tight corridors. Okay, so Genji will also be banned out here, so it looks like they don't want to deal with that during this match. And he does have a lot of good poke, so he can really delay the turn-in points and just be a nuisance the entire time. So they have the Stitches Uther. They're going to need some sort of wave clear. The KT works pretty well here. You can combo that with the Stitches Hook and the Uther Stun. And then maybe you roll into a Greymane with that. So you pick up KT Greymane here. So you can do the Greymane solo lane and bottom. And then that leaves your last pick as a flex to what they pick up on the side of Give Us a Chansey. Huh. That's what I would think. You'd pick up the wave clear from like a KT or Gul'dan, and then you get the Greymane with it. We're going to see Alarak and Dahaka. I couldn't have been more wrong. So the Dahaka here, Tomb is quite a small map, but at the same time, Dahaka can be a playmaker. So we're also having Malthael here too. I was expecting double tank, but they're actually going to be just doing the solo tank Arthas with the Malthael. Now they do have the Stitches and the Dahakas. Those are high health pool heroes. A lot of their team is melee at this point, so they usually will be clumped up a little bit together in the front or something. So Malthael can use his Tormented Souls on about 3 members. Alarak has a kind of a disengage, and there's the KT. So there's the wave clear that I was talking about. The Dahaka also pairs well into the Stitches. It's just I don't know if Dahaka is the right choice for this map. I'm just... Well, we'll see. Well, obviously, we'll see how he's played here. But typically, the globals aren't too much of a priority in a map like this because of the fact that it's so small. The rotations aren't that big, and typically you aren't making crazy rotations. But then again, you can be burrowing to top to get a pick onto someone who's retreating or something. So, on the left-hand side, we are going to have Lionspeed with S64 on Kael'thas, Azuki on Helarak, Big Wiz on Dahaka, Varchizi on Stitches, Glaucus on Uther. And on the right-hand side, we are going to have Give Us a Chansey with Keeping It Kappa on Vala, Safri on Ariel, Gudith on Arthas, Flacker on Malthael, and Sephorath on Tassadar. Okay, as my screen just completely goes off to the side there. Okay, so some of these first level talents. We are going to have the Kael'thas going into the Mana Addict. So we're not going to be having him go into the Convection, so he doesn't really need to worry about, working up those stacks or potentially losing them. Vala will be going into the Hot Pursuit here. Nothing, I'm just trying to see if I find anything that's just kind of out of the ordinary, and it does not look like anything is that way. So we are having... Dahaka is brush stalking in to this middle. And then he will be rotating... it looks like he's staying in the lane. Okay, it just looks like it's a lot of posturing, waiting for the minion wave. And at this point, Dahaka will be coming out of the bush. There is a pull onto the Arthas here. There is a hook onto him as well. Dahaka will be taking a little bit of damage here. He will have to use his burrow, and he will be backing away. We do see a double stun here from the Arthas root. They do push the Stitches back, pulling that Uther a little bit out, but he is so close to his gate that it really doesn't matter too much. The hook is out onto the Vala. Will vault away into safety. There is a root onto the Alarak. Does he get out? He will. Okay. I was wondering if there was like a multi-shot Hungering Arrow combo. They might have gotten him. So we are going to see the start of this rotation here. Looks like they are going to get the stun onto the Uther in this choke point. Vala will be coming in, pushing out a little bit against them. The KT does provide really good poke, but until his team gets there, you really don't want to engage. There is a follow-up Whirlwind with the anti-synergy from the Telekinesis actually saves him a little bit of health there from the KT combo. The Flame Strike does not connect, so he doesn't take that little bit of extra. That might have put him closer to death there. We are going to have a rotation back out from Lionspeed. They're going to be going right into mid. In bottom, we are going to be having the Dahaka versus the Malthael, and this is... I think it's going to be quite the hard fight for Dahaka, really. He will actually have to Hearth, so we'll see if how he's going to be coming back in the wave. He should have Brush Stalker at this point. We are going to be having a combo onto this Ariel. She does get some shielding from the Tassadar, giving him a decent amount of health. She does spread the Pyro Bomb to the Chain Bomb onto the Tassadar, but there is a hook onto the Arthas. A pullback from the Telekinesis. They do get the counter kill. Uther did die trying to rotate into his gate, but he got body blocked by some of the enemy members, and then the Arthas got hooked and just stunned out. At this point, we are going to have the Dahaka back in bottom, just kind of soaking this experience right here. There is a rotation back into top to try and just get some of these gems. With the kills, though, at this point, it still puts give us a Chansey a little bit above. And I'm guessing at this point we're going to be having the Kael'thas D pushing mid. He will be rotating back up into his team where there is a small skirmish. They are getting pushed in a little bit here. They do pull the Vala into the gate a little bit, but there is a minion wave taking the majority of that damage. KT's a little bit late, so he does not get the follow-up stun onto her. She will be able to rotate fine here with her 13. The telekinesis is there and the silence as well. There is a stun and a KT combo. Do they get the hook out? It does not connect. She's very close to death, but she will be actually just getting healed up a little bit by the Ariel. There's a stun onto the Alarak. Or excuse me, a root onto the Alarak. And we are going to be starting to see some of these rotations really start to benefit one team more than the other, depending on how quickly they're making them. Looks like there's a huge telekinesis and a blow up onto the Vala. They have 13 gems out currently. Looks like Arthas will get the majority of them. There is a bomb onto the Ariel, but she will be fine. They do collect this wave, and they will be pushing it up there. So the Tassadar gets pulled in, but they do have the his E, which I am forgetting the name at this point, phase shift, and so he will be getting out. KT's just putting out a little bit of damage there, throwing out, just trying to poke them back, but the team is trying to delay this as long as possible, waiting for their Vault to get back. So Give Us a Chansey is going to go ahead and deter this turn-in. So we are going to be just checking into bottom right now. It looks like there's a hearth? It's not going to be happening. Okay, so I don't know if he was just faking the hearth, but at this point he will be pushing back up into the wave. We do have a little bit of zoning from the Tassadar Psychonic Storm. We are going to have a telekinesis onto the Vala here. There is a shield and some healing from the Ariel. There is a root onto the Uther. He will be fine, though. He's behind his gate, so he's not going to be having too bad of a problem. We're going to have another telekinesis there. It will not be connecting too much with anything else that they have. Currently, some of the members are getting a little bit of low on the side of Lionspeed. There's a huge, just the Tassadar is doing an extreme amount of damage this late game, because I believe, just checking into his questing talents, he's about halfway through, so he's still going to be able to do a little bit more damage as he scales further up into the game here. Vala will be rotating up, and she is by herself at this point. Some of the team members could collapse on her. They actually do end up doing that. The telekinesis is there, and she will be dropping a huge amount of gems. The Arthas is a little bit body blocked, but the whip, I believe? I thought he just teleported. I was like, Stitches doesn't have that. Not until 20. He does get the hook onto the Arthas, who gets telekinesis and stun. He will be getting healed up by the Ariel. And this will be a Webweaver turn-in for Give Us a Chansey. The waves look like they've just been... They're equally pushed out. So this is going to be spawning a little bit back and bottom. Mid and top are going to be just about equal mid spawn or midway spawn. So the Webweavers do come down at this point, and most of the members are back into lane here, so they will be able to counter this mid push easily. They might lose a little bit of their gate and top. It really depends on how quickly they can make this. They can clear this and make the rotation. So the gate is already down. They are going to be probably focusing down that well, so that way they don't have that lane sustaining top. They do get a double silence here from the Alarak, but it will not be working out for them. The Spider Queen wave does come out and does a buttload of damage. Uther will be finishing his quest. I believe his level 1 quest. And we are actually going to be having the kill onto the Alarak. But with that as well, the fort will be falling from the Webweaver. At this point, the Uther drops 35 gems. The Stitches tries to get as much as he can of it, but is he going to be falling as well? He will. And at this point, the Tassadar gets them, or excuse me, the Kael'thas gets them because he's the only one alive. And I believe in bottom lane, the Malthael and the Spider probably killed the Dahaka. I missed that. My apologies. But they do get 2 forts out of this push, and they already have enough for a turn-in. With some of the members just coming back up, we are going to be seeing them probably trying to capitalize on that because their waves are so far pushed up already. In the meantime, while these Web Weaver turn-in points are spawning, they're going to go ahead and take down this mid gate, push up the wave a little bit here, get a little bit more experience, and this game looks completely different than the last one. At this point, we are going to be having the 10s just getting picked up on the side of Lionspeed. And in last game, I mean, they were just, Lionspeed was so dominant with their plays on that Braxis game, but at this point, it's just been completely flipped on them. A huge Divine Storm does come out. They also get the Counter-Strike onto 2 of the members, and I was just saying that they weren't playing this too well, but they just get a 3rd kill on top of that. Do they get the 4th? The gate blocks the hook. The Stitch's Putrid Bile is already out, so they will be going ahead and confirming this. And they just turned this game around real quick. This seemed like it was really starting to snowball in the favor of Give Us a Chansey, but all of a sudden you just see this breath of life come into Lionspeed. They get 3 picks, and they really start to just de-push these waves. Now, bottom is going to be their most pushed in. The Web Weaver will have to take care of that camp. They're just going to have to go ahead and say that bottom wave, that's not going to be a concern. Mid is being pushed in, and that's where our Web Weaver will be. The Dahaka is coming back at this point, trying to get a tongue, misses the tongue onto the Vala. There is a huge Tormented Souls onto 4 of the members here. Dahaka does get the burrow. Does he have the essence to get out? He does not. He actually took, I believe, isolation. No, he took adaptation. He already used it. And then we are going to be having the Uther falling extremely low here. The Phoenix should be confirming the kill onto him. Malthael is trying to get out. The Crystal Aegis is onto him. Is the explosion enough to get the kill? It is not. Stitches does have the Putrid Bile. They are chasing him at this point, but he will be falling. Now, the Web Weavers are still pushing into mid and top. They don't have a significant amount of health, but this is still the fort taking critical damage, as well as this top is getting pushed in quite a bit because there is a nice strong wave with them. So they should be, this Web Weaver should get the well and probably just a little bit of the minion wave. But with that, though, with some of the members still alive and this bottom Web Weaver just pushing up to the gate, they're going to go ahead and rotate into this and try and capitalize, since the team had to rotate all the way top. And I think they were just going to say whatever to this, and they're really going on this fort. Some of the members were scouted top probably on mini-map, so they do know. But at this point, they are going to be rotating. I think Uther was providing a decent amount of vision. They do see them. The Alarak does see them there. There is the slow telekinesis, push them back. There is a route from the Arthas that does not connect onto anyone, and they will be walking away from the safe. So at the same time, they really got a good counter kill. Now, there is enough for both teams to turn in right now. We do see a slam out from Stitches, a stun onto him. There is a huge silence from the Alarak. They get the Counter-Strike out, but there's no damage to follow up. The Crystal Aegis already comes out onto the Ariel. There is a burrow from the Dahaka. They go right into here, and a huge Divine Storm gets onto 2 of the members, but it only confirms the kill onto the Arthas. Now, at this point, the Phoenix is out currently. Ariel is quite low here. Do they have a pull? They have a pull onto the Vala. I believe she will be falling here. Now, do they get another pick onto the Ariel, or do they just go for the turn? And they get a telekinesis onto 2 of the members. Tessar does have his phase shift away. The Putrid Bile is out from the Stitches. Does he have a hook to pull them out? There is a Tormented Souls from the Malthael, and they start to back off. Now, is there a hook to pull him back into this? No, okay. I was waiting for it because I was like, 16 seconds feels like it's passed. So they will go ahead and they'll turn in enough gems here. They'll get another Web Weaver push. Now, top is quite pushed in already, so that isn't going to be too strong of a push. Vala is getting up currently. All the members are alive. They will be guaranteeing this fort probably. Now, the camp does show that it's still up, so they could invade here, and it looks like that's what they're going to be doing. They're going to go ahead and take this away from Give Us a Chansey here. So they are going to go ahead and confirm the fort. The Web Weavers still have not spawned yet, so it will spawn to the furthest point. All right, there it is. A 3-man route does come out from the Arthas. There is a hook onto the Tessar that pulls him to the back line. He will be just collapsed upon by Lionspeed, and they are showing that their name is not just a name, it's the speed at which they kill enemies. I don't know, that kind of works, but we are going to be seeing an aggressive push here onto the gate. They get the pull and the silence onto a couple members. The hook, the drag from the Dahaka is there. There is a follow-up stun from the Uther. There is a Divine Storm as well. They get the Putrid Bile out as well, and that is going to be kill onto the Arthas. Now, the Web Weavers are still quite strong, and they are going to be pushing onto this keep here. Ariel did use her Crystal Aegis on herself. She is completely locked down and silenced, so she will be falling here. The Web Weaver is at about a 1/3 health, so they will be pushing onto this keep. Kael'thas is using his Flame Strike to kind of zone them away a little bit here, so they can't really hide behind the keep and get hooked. But this is a extremely strong push in by Lionspeed. They're going to go ahead and actually just say there's 2 dead, no healer, well, no main healer. we're going to go ahead and take a second keep. So they go ahead, they rotate into bottom. The Web Weaver already pushed up the wave really far. So they're going to go ahead and confirm 2 keeps with the second Web Weaver turn in. I don't think they have enough for another turn in. So now that what they need to do is, with the talent tier advantage, they should maybe look to, they push back all their waves. They're all pushed up at this point. Excuse me. On the side of gives a Chansey, they should be pushing up their waves. But on the side of Lionspeed, they're going to try and get a pick, and they get the Tassadar. There is the phase shift from him. Does he get away? He actually uses his Archon. The Malthael does come in with a huge Tormented Souls and a Soul Maiden of the members, and this is the worst case scenario for Lionspeed. They get into this huge, just this hallway of death, and they get the Aegis onto Ariel. Does she live? She actually ends up falling, and this is going to be 2 of the members dying. Now, Uther was in ghost form healing them up, so that is a huge benefit to some of the members. Does S-Fox get out? There is the dive from the Malthael, and they will be getting the counter kill onto him. Is there a tongue? The tongue just barely misses onto the Tassadar. So that is a lot of gems dropped, but at the same time, Tassadar kept 10, and they actually only needed 9. So yes, Stitches. That was a crazy fight. That hallway is just it was just like a corridor of death, and I honestly don't know how they turned it around at this point. Like, I don't know how that fight was turned around. I thought they had that 100%. I'll definitely have to watch the replay on that one. So at this point, we're going to see a lot of the lanes being pushed back. The 16s are there for give us a Chansey, so they're going to be working towards their getting their 20s, matching up the level at this point. Boss is still open. And it is in, the best favor for currently. Well, I was going to say, if they go for it, it's going to be pushing under a keep for either team, but this is just a 5v5, and that's not what you want to do. You want to, unless they go and try and fake boss. It looks like there is a Bush party at this turn-in, but there is a route onto the Kael'thas. He will be taking a significant amount of damage. The Malthael uses his tormented, his tormented souls. He's doing significant damage, but he is getting stunned out by the Uther. Now there are so much damage going out onto the Stitches. He does end up falling here, and now Malthael will be diving a little bit deeper. There's a stun and a silence onto him, and he will be completely annihilated there. So that is going to be a 1-for-1 trade. They are trying to push up onto the support. There is the telekinesis and the silence onto the Ariel. Now she is going to be falling here from that. The Arthas will be falling also because of the tongue. Now all they have left is the Vala and the Tassadar, but at the same time that is a strong duo. They get the telekinesis away to save the Kael'thas. Whew! So at this point, they do have enough for turn-in, and it looks like that's what they're going to be doing. They're going to get this turn-in, and they're going to be utilizing that to defend their core. Top lane will be just the Web Weaver will be pushing into top and bottom, so that will also push up their waves a little bit. Top is significantly pushed in, but this is going to be easily cleaned up from the KT and the Alarak and the Dahaka. I mean, they've just got such good wave clear on the side of Lionspeed. So this Web Weaver will be pushing up to about midway, I would assume. There should be a minion wave right around here. Nope, I'm completely wrong. All right, well, I don't know anything about this game. They do get to burn this down right away, though, and so that's going to be an easy cleanup for them on the side of Lionspeed. They also going to be pushing up this wave. And now all they really need to do is just focus on getting their 20s, and then they need to just try and take a fight. So they got their 20s, actually. And let's see, just quickly take a peek at this. There's actually the Flame Strike Empowerment on Kael'thas. Alarak will be taking the Deadly Charge, which I already hear charging up. There is a telekinesis onto the Vala. There's a stun and a Kael'thas, and there's actually a Tormented Souls into the backline from the Malthael, but he's going to get stunned out. He's going to have to dive forward onto the Stitches. He will be using his Putrid Bile, but we're actually be having the Vala fall here. I missed that. It was probably on the Alarak and the Kael'thas. At this point, we're going to be having the Dahaka getting... Okay, so he will be able to use his Tunnel Claws. He will be get friendly hooked out here. That will be the bottom Web Weaver dying. Just over time, it will decay. So they don't need to worry about this too much. Take a quick peek at just some of the talents once again. Just talk about some of these. Stitches will actually be going for the Cannibalize. Uther will be taking Redemption, of course. There's the adaptation buff for the Dahaka. So he won't be taking Brush Stalker to move around the map quicker. That's going to be interesting. I mean, what is the bunt? So 200% of the damage. Okay. And it's reduced by 30 seconds. So you take I believe it's a 60-second cooldown standard. So you said every 30 seconds you can pop adaptation. That's pretty powerful. And they're gonna go ahead and combo this camp right here with their web weavers. And this is going to be an extremely strong push. Mid has 2 catapults. The hook. Oh, not again. There is going to be an unstoppable onto the Alarak. There is a huge, just Vala trying to put out this damage, but this Arthas is just falling so extremely low. There is a Divine Storm onto 2 of the members here. Vala getting really low. Will she be falling? No, she will not. Okay. Future Bile is there to kind of zone some of the members away. They will be trying to get the healing from the Uther as best they can. The hook goes out, but it does not connect onto some of the members, or any of the members of excuse me. Give me a Chansey. Give us a Chansey. Some of these fights are just taking the entire breath out of me. So with the Arthas currently down, actually we're going to be having a hook and a combo onto the Malfield. He will be using his Tormented Souls, but that will not be working out for him. The Vala is trying to go in deep for the kill onto the Kael'thas, but that will not be working out. There's a Telekinesis and a Silence onto her. It also hits the Arl, so she can't really get away or use too many of abilities. And the Tassadar will be getting actually hooked and killed, and that is going to be the core confirmed. Game number 3 will be going over to Lionspeed. GG, well played.